Alrighty, hey guys, welcome to today's video. The reason for this video is because I looked everywhere online and couldn't find anything like this, so I just thought I'd make my own. And today, if you read the thumbnail, we are going to be cleaning one of these Philips razors. Basically, this works for wet and dry, ones that are dry only. It doesn't really matter because we're not really going to get anything too wet. But basically, we're going to be going from this to this. I like to start by putting a nice towel down. This will make sure that it'll absorb any spills and you can just put your pieces right onto it to dry when you're done. So obviously what we're going to need is our dirty razor. This one hasn't been cleaned for quite some time, so we're going to need that. We're going to need a nice warm little tub of soapy water. I like to use antibacterial soap because not only does the soap help get rid of some of the grease and oils that have built up from shaving your face, but the antibacterial side of it also makes sure that it kills any bacteria that might be living there. And then lastly, we're just going to need a nice clean, fresh tub of water. I chose this glass beaker just because I thought it would look interesting and exciting for the video. Again, I'm using warm water just because being warm it dries quicker, and also warm just helps get rid of any oils and things that might just still be left over after the process. Lastly, we're going to need our toothbrush. You can pretty much use any sort of brush cleaning thing, but I've pretty much found that a toothbrush just seems to work best for this sort of application. Okay, so to start off with, we open up the razor. I like to do this over a sink and then just bang it on the sides of the sink just gently. It just helps get any loose pieces off, out. Okay, then you're going to take everything apart and just chuck it into the soapy water. Okay, then what you want to go do is, in your sink, you're going to want to just brush all of this out. Now I'm going to go do that quickly while I wait for this to settle and for some of the soap to start acting on that grease. It's going to really help make it much easier to clean later on. So I'm going to go do this and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back from the sink, and as you can see it looks much better. You sort of just want to go at it like this, scrubbing into all the corners, and just use your own sort of motions. I mean, you probably have a different toothbrush, it might work differently, just to get all the hairs out. Again, you don't want to really get this part wet, even though this razor itself is a wet and dry razor. You still don't really want to pour water directly into here, as if it does happen to get into the inner workings and it stops working, it's not covered by the warranty. Another thing is there'll often be some build-up on the side, so I just like to give it a little scrub there. And then when I'm done, I usually just give this a nice wipe just to make sure it's nice and clean. Putting that aside, we can go back to all our pieces. Now I like to just give every single one of them a bit of a scrub, just to make sure that all the hairs that haven't, you can see them floating at the bottom there, come loose already. Just scrub it to get rid of all those last little bits of hair. And I'll just give it a little bit of a rinse in that, and then just pop it into our clean water. I mean, you can do this under a running tap as well, but just for the purpose of this video I'm doing it in a beaker. Then I'm just going to continue on with all the other bits. When it comes to the caps, there's usually quite a bit of build-up on the sides here. I don't know if you can see that. So just as a side note, I like to just go along and make sure that I get whatever oils and hairs and dusts have built up in there. Okay, now when it comes to the blades, often you'll see that the hairs get stuck sort of in between them. So I usually like to go with a circular motion that just follows the pattern of the blades. So whichever razor you have, you can maybe just see how this works for you. and just get it so that you're getting in there against those blades, so you're brushing all the hairs and oils off. And there we go, all the pieces. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a swirl around. And you can see with the amount of spilling, that's why I said put a towel down. But there we go, those are all clean. We can go just pour this out in the sink or just take them out in general. And then make sure you find a dry patch of your towel and just leave them out to air dry. I'm going to move on to the set that is dry. And this is optional. I don't do it all the time, but it does just help decrease the amount of friction that's in your razor, and it does help it to run a bit faster. But the downside to it is that it can clog up faster, which means that if you don't like cleaning things regularly, or you're not prepared to clean it regularly, you shouldn't do this, because it does require you to clean it maybe once every 2 weeks as opposed to once a month when I usually do this. So what you can do is you can take a bit of razor oil and you just dip your end of your cotton swab in it, and you just go around all the parts which are going to move. And you can also just lightly put some on the tips of the razor blades. And then what this does is it just makes it run a lot smoother, therefore you usually get a bit of a closer shave and it just works better. But then, yeah, as I said again, the grease attracts the hairs more, so you will need to clean it more regularly. Okay, just to put it back together, we just slot all these in. It might be different for your razor, but there should be a section in the owner's manual on how to do that. And there we go. Happy shaving. Alrighty, there we guys go. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like if it was helpful to you, which I hope it was. Make sure to share with a friend if they maybe have the same problem. And yeah, I'll see you in the future. Bye!